الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله ونحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأن محمدا عبده ورسوله أكرمه بالنبوة وجعله رحمة للعالمين اللهم صل وسلم على عبدك ورسولك بحافظ سرك ومبلغ رسالاتك وصل على وصيه وأخيه أمير المؤمنين وعلى الصديقة الطاهرة فاطمة سيدة نساء العالمين وصل على سبتي الرحمة الحسن والحسين سيدي شباب أهل الجنة وصل على أئمة المسلمين علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والخلف القائم المهدي حججك على عبادك وأمنائك في بلادك صلاة كثيرة دائمة اللهم لا تدع لنا ذنبا إلا غفرته ولا هما إلا فرجته ولا سقما إلا شفيته ولا عيبا إلا سترته ولا رزقا إلا بسطته ولا خوفا إلا أمنته ولا سوءا إلا صرفته ولا حاجة هي لك رضا بل هي فيها صلاح إلا قضيتها يا أرحم الراحمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين. Let's continue the subject we started in the last 4 Fridays, reflecting on the Holy Quran. We already discussed how Al-Quran is Kitab al-Hidayah, Kitab al-Shifa, Kitab al-Ilm, wa Kitab al-Dhikr, Kitab Allah wa Kitab al-Insaniyah. This is a heavenly reception, a Ma'idah Samawiyah, a Tuhfa Samawiyah, a Ni'mah Samawiyah, a grace from God, a gift from God, a reception from heaven that is open for everyone. It is for scientists, for philosophers, for teachers, for students, for politicians, for presidents, for peasants, for all kinds of people. This invitation is open. Everyone is invited to this Al-Ma'idah As-Samawiyah Al-Quran Al-Kareem. تعلموا القرآن فإنه أحسن الحديث وتفقهوا فيه فإنه ربيع القلوب واستشفوا بنوره فإنه شفاء الصدور وأحسنوا تلاوته فإنه أنفع القصص. This beautiful statement from Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, that make sure that you learn this book, you understand it, you use it as a spiritual medicine for a spiritual healing, and then you recite it in the right way. So the emphasis is on التفقه في القرآن التدبر في القرآن. Because Imam alayhi salam is saying that ألا لا خير في علم ليس فيه تفهم. Somebody has knowledge but he has no idea about this knowledge. He doesn't have any intellection, any education, any realization, any real reflection. So this knowledge is nothing. ألا لا خير في قراءة ليس فيها تدبر. The same thing, if there is tilawat al-Quran but there is no contemplation, there is no thoughtful studies of the Quran, then there is no khair. Quran itself says, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ وَلَوْ كَانَ مِنْ عِنْدِ غَيْرِ اللَّهِ لَوَجَدُوا فِيهِ اخْتِلَافًا كَثِيرًا. Why is it that some people, they recite the Quran, but they don't reflect on the Quran? Because if it was a normal book, you could see this full of contradiction. This book has been there for 1400 years. And just think about it, at-tadabbur fil Quran, that could the community of Abu Jahl and Abu Sufyan and Abu Lahab, those Juhal, could really those people raise someone, be able to write such a book? Where this book is coming from? Look at Mecca and Medina at the time of Jahiliyyah. So just thinking about it, بجماله وجلاله ومنطقه وقيام هذا الكتاب ضد الظالمين والكاذبين والجاهلين. The beauty of this book, the position of this book deserves total tadabbur and total reflection. This is a letter from the Lord to this world. But this letter is a loving letter, because the Lord is loving. His letter is loving. Letter of love and letter of life. It is an exchange of conversation between يحبهم ويحبونه, between al-muhib wal-mahbub, between the Lord who loves and he is loved. He is muhib and he is muhab, and yuhibbunah. This is the relationship between al-habib wal-mahbub. So like any other love letters, sometimes you see that there is bushra, it's a good news. Sometimes there is al-indhar, it's a warning. Sometimes there is iqab, discipline. Sometimes some threatening. Sometimes invitation, just exactly like you love someone, you care for someone, and you act in different ways. God is expressing himself in different ways, but all of this out of his love for humanity. Then he gave us this love letter and told us that this is miftahul ma'rifah, the key of understanding. Ma'rifatullah. If you want to know your Lord, this is the key. This is the text. Use it. كنت كنزا مخفيا فأحببت أن أعرف فخلقت الخلق لكي أعرف. This is في hadith al-Qudsi. That the whole point of us being here is ma'rifatullah, na'rif Allah, to know him. And obviously this book is the key to know him. But of course there are people who understand this book better, and they can share their ma'rif and their knowledge with us. As Imam Baqir alayhi salam says, إِنَّمَا يَعْرِفُ الْقُرْآنَ مَنْ خُوتِبَ بِهِ. When somebody came to Imam Baqir alayhi salam in the time of Hajj, دخل قتادة بن دعامة على أبي جعفر عليه السلام فقال الإمام يا قتادة أنت فقيه أهل البصرة؟ قال هكذا يزعمون. فقال بلغني أنك تفسر القرآن. قال نعم. This guy came to Imam Baqir and Imam said that you are coming from Basra and I heard that you are the scholar of Basra, you do the commentary on the Quran over there, and said yes, that's what people think, that I'm a scholar, but yeah, I do tafsir al-Quran. Imam tested him with one verse and he said, what do you think about this verse about قم سبأ وقدرنا فيها السير سيروا فيها الليالي وأياما آمنين? The answer that Qatada gave to Imam was not really the total answer. He said, Imam, that means that you are aminin. If you are coming to Hajj and the money that you are using, the rahla, the things that, transportation that you rent, if everything is halal, then you are aminin. You are safe and secure. Imam said, but there are a lot of people, they are using halal money and they come to Hajj and they face qutta al-tariq, and sometimes not they only lose their property, they lose their life, so they are not aminin. So that was a long conversation, and finally Imam said that, don't interpret the Quran with your own ideas, tafsir bil-ra'i. Make sure that you learn the Quran from those who received the Quran. وَيْحَكَ يَا قَتَادَ إِنَّمَا يَعْرِفُ الْقُرْآنَ مَنْ خُوطِبَ بِهِ. This was Prophet Muhammad who was addressed by this message to begin with, and he shared this with his family and righteous companion. You have to go and learn from them, otherwise إِنَّكَ تَهْلِكْ سَتُهْلَكْ. You are destroying yourself and you are destroying some other people. If you leave it for somebody like Bin Baz, what was his name in Saudi, Bin Baz? And he said, Ya Prophet said, Man ra'a min amirihi shay'an min ma'siyatillah, فَلْيَكْرَهْ مَا يَأْتِي مِن مَعْصِيَةِ اللَّهِ وَلَكِنْ لَا يَنْزَعَنَّ يَدًا من طاعته فإنه من فارق الجماعة مات ميتة الجاهلية. If you don't like your Amir, your leader, your king, well, so whatever you don't like about that, but make sure that you still obey him. You make sure that you don't disobey him. And he said, Prophet said that even if you don't like, even if this rajul al-fasiq wal-fajr wal-sariq wal-qatil, whatever sin that he commits, if it is sinful, but still you have to obey him. Because Allah says, أَتِعُوا اللَّهَ وَأَتِعُوا الرَّسُولَ وَأُولِي الْأَمْرِ مِنْكُمْ. They are ulul amr. Well, Allah said, ulul amr, obey the ulul amr, obedience, al-ita'ah. But the same Allah said in the same book, وَلَا تُطِعْ مَنْ أَغْفَلْنَا قَلْبَهُ مِنْ ذِكْرِنَا. Don't obey the ghafilin. He said, وَلَا تُطِعِ الْكَافِرِينَ وَالْمُنَافِقِينَ. Don't follow the hypocrites. لَا تُطِعِ الْمُكَذِّبِينَ. Don't follow the liars. لَا تُطِعْ كُلَّ حَلَّافٍ مُهِينٍ. لَا تُطِعْ آثِمًا أَوْ كَفُورًا. لَا تُطِعْ أَمْرَ الْمُسْرِفِينَ. Don't obey the corrupt, the corruption makers, the sinners, the liars, the evils. The same Quran. And if you are talking about any hadith, you have to remember that the same Prophet said, إِذَا جَاءَكُمْ عَنِّي حَدِيثٌ فَأَعْرِضُوهُ عَلَى كِتَابِ اللَّهِ فَمَا وَافَقَ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ فَاقْبِلُوهُ وَمَا خَالَفَهُ فَاضْرِبُوا بِهِ عَلَى عَرْضِ الْحَائِطِ. If anybody said that the Prophet said this, take this statement, compare it with the Quran. If it is against Quran, I didn't say it, because Prophet never says something against the Quran. So if it didn't match the Quran, drop it on the wall, throw it out, don't follow. But you know that there are so many akadib in the name of hadith in our history. Because everything was done with the money of those Hukam, Bani Umayyah, Bani al-Abbas. You have people like Samrat ibn Jundab. This guy, yeah, he was one of the Ashab. He was in Medina at the time of the Prophet, but this guy was a very greedy money man. He has a problem with his neighbor because he had a palm tree, that this palm tree was bothering the neighbor. It was next to the wall, and it was an obstacle in traffic of his neighbor. The neighbor comes to the Prophet, Ya Rasulullah, there's a problem. He called Samurai and said, this bothers your neighbor. Let him pay for you, remove it. He said, no, I'm not going to do that. He said, okay, then what if I ask you to do that for the sake of God, and I ask God to reward you in Jannah with another tree. Is that acceptable? For ajr wa thawab, for exchange it for a shajara fil Jannah. He said, I don't want that either. So greedy and so stubborn that the Prophet got upset. He said, Amara biqat'i nakhlatihi bila thaman. He said, he told the neighbor, go and cut the trees, throw it out, and you don't have to pay this guy anything, because innaka rajulun mudar wala dharara wala dhirara fil Islam. You are a harmful guy, and in our religion you cannot harm your neighbor or harm anybody, especially your neighbor. Even if there is an adhan in the masjid that's bothering the neighbor, you cannot put in a sound system if they are bothered. Some of them are sick, they cannot take it. You want to have Salatul Fajr and you want to have adhan and wake them up. You can't do that. La dharara fala dirara fil Islam. If your music is bothering the neighbor, if you're driving and putting your car and blocking the way of the neighbor, cannot get out of his garage, or anything that's harmful, you cannot do that. La darara wa la darara. Now our Christmas season, and there are a lot of people are bothering because they are off, and Jesus is forgotten. It's more alcohol, and more people get drunk, and more accident, and more crimes, and more jaraims. So they turn this Christmas, which is a season of prayer and spirituality, a commercial, criminal occasion that's bothering people, is harmful for people. That is wrong. Now this guy, Samura, now he became one of the muhaddithin. What do you expect from this guy? Muawiyah told him, Samura, I give you 100,000 dirhams. That you said this ayah was revealed about Imam Ali. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يُعْجِبُكَ قَوْلُهُ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَيَشْهَدُ اللَّهَ عَلَى مَا فِي قَلْبِهِ وَهُوَ أَلَدُّ الْخِصَامِ وَإِذَا تَوَلَّى سَعَى فِي الْأَرْضِ يُفْسِدُ فِيهَا وَيُهْلِكَ الْحَرْثَ وَالنَّاسَ وَاللَّهُ لَا يُحِبُّ الْفَسَادَ. Na'udhu billah, he said, I give you 100,000 dirhams. Say this verse that's talking about kadhabin and mufsidin, that those who get the opportunity and they come to the leadership, they corrupt and they make crimes, and said this is about Imam Ali. But the other verse that it says, وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَشْرِي نَفْسَهُ ابْتِغَاءَ مَرْضَاتِ اللَّهِ وَاللَّهُ رَؤُوفٌ بِالْعِبَادِ, which is about Imam Ali, said this is about Ibn Muljam. Samura said that, so this is verse that is saying sacrifice, Imam Ali sacrifice, not Ibn Muljam. He's a qatil, he's a murderer. He said 100,000. He said, no, I'm not going to do that. It's not worth it. He said, I give you 200. He said, still is not worth it. He said, I give you 300,000 dirhams. It's still not worth it. Muawiyah is getting upset. How greedy you are. Okay, I give you 400,000 dirhams. Say so. He said, okay, 400,000 dirhams, I get it. He got the money and he did that. So no surprise that in our world the same guys are doing the same corruption. They buy the muhaddithin, they buy the masajid, they buy the universities, they buy the politician, they buy even the president, they buy everything. This is why nobody hear about something happened in Florida. We don't hear about that anymore, right? Because They have this Mecca and Medina as tools, as weapons of destruction and division among the Ummah. If there is something good, they stand against it. There was a summit in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. All the Muslim states, the heads of Muslim states, were invited in Malaysia to have a seminar, a summit, to put their ideas together and come up with some solution about Islamophobia, immigration, and the problems in the Muslim Ummah. The first country that boycotted this summit was Saudi Arabia. Said, oh, if we don't do it, nobody can do it. And they force any country, like Pakistan was one of the countries suggested this summit, but could not participate because the Saudis said, if you go, we are not going to give you any more money. So they use their money and their mischievous muftis. So money and those corrupt muftis, they are the tools, the monument that this Muawiyah ideology and system is using to destroy the Ummah. Now, if there is something bad, evil thing, they are the first to participate. If there is a summit that's encouraging warmongering and fitna and terrorism, violence, division among the Ummah, hatred, conflict in the communities, killing the innocent, these are the first to participate. But if there is something constructive and good, they are not participating. And this is something that we should give sometimes Trump one credit, because sometimes he says one thing true, he is telling the truth one time, and sometimes this covers many more lies covered sometimes because he said something that everybody likes it. Like there was something in Washington Post just 2 days ago that, you know, in this country, check and balance, it is the fact checkers. There are people, an organization called fact checkers. Then they check till this month, December 10th, just this week, a few days last week, was it, December 10th, that they said in the 1,055 days of Trump in the White House, he made false claims or misleading. In other words, he lied. How many times? 15,413 times. That means that if you divide it by days, he made almost 15 false statements or lies every day. 15 times. How nice to have such a role model. And he says it very strongly. You remember, they don't check before the election because that was big lies even then. Remember, he said even Obama was not even born in this country. He doesn't have even birth certificate in this country. I mean, things that, he said, when there was 9/11, I saw thousands of Muslims in Manhattan, they were celebrating it. Nobody saw, no TV was there. He was the only one who saw it. Nobody else in the world observed that. So he says all of these things, but sometimes he tells the truth, and that is really covers everything. I mean, he is talking about, like, sometimes he has ilm al-ghaib, right? He talks like he knows everything that happened in the past, and he knows even in the future. He was saying that John Dingell should look up. Looks like now, like he is in hell, he should look up on the heaven. I put something on my Facebook about this. But now this man is saying that, okay, you complain about Saudi Arabia. That's the time that Trump telling the truth. He said, you explain and you want me to explain and complain about Saudi Arabia. You know that if it was not for Saudi Arabia, we didn't have Israel. So what do you want Israel to do? You want Israelis to leave? So they are a big base, and they are supporting Israel. So what you want me to do? That's what I'm saying. The role of money that Muawiyah gave 400,000 dirham to Samrat ibn Jundab to lie about the Quran. The same thing is happening these days. Brothers and sisters, 2019 is almost over. It was not a better year compared to the previous years. The conflict continued. We had genocide in Yemen and thing in Gaza, in Syria, in other parts of, later on then in Iraq and Lebanon. So in this huge universal mess, as we are approaching the end of this year and approaching the new year, we need to return to this love letter from Allah, the letter of mercy, the Holy Quran. And it starts from our families, because really that is the fundamental, that how we can, if we cannot change the entire world, but do our best if we can do something about raising our own children, our own family, in a Quranic way, that they think Quranically, they intend Quranically, they act Quranically, with honesty, with respect, with love, with responsibility, with peace, with these values, because we are really in a bad situation. The kids go to the school, they learn bad stuff, and they come back home. They learn it from non-Muslims, sometimes from Muslims. So much cultural corruption. And we have this solution, we have this answer, we have this merciful message from God, the Holy Quran. So instead of having the kids all the time with the TV, and now the internet, and now the YouTube, and all this social media that they are blessing, technology is a big blessing, is very helpful for human civilization and progress, but at the same time the evil part, the corrupt way, is just like a knife that you can cut the bread, or somebody can cut somebody's head. It can be blessing, or it can be disgraceful. So it's very, very important that we pay attention. You heard that now there is a blasphemous movie even about Jesus. Look at the corruption. This Netflix movie that probably you heard, that they are saying, "Gay Jesus, na'udhu billah." And they say it like it's fun. They say it like it's a joke. They say that this is a Christmas, like a comedy. That, oh, Jesus was 30 years old and one day he surprised his family. He brought his, friend to I mean, unbelievable. And this is not an insult just to Christianity and Christians. That is insult to Islam and Muslims, because we believe in Jesus. We honor Jesus, we honor Mary. He is our prophet, messenger as well. If somebody is Muslim and he says that I do not believe in Jesus and Moses, then he is denying part of his own faith. They are part of our faith. And when Jesus is insulted, I know there is something online that you can go online and sign and ask this company, Netflix, to remove this movie and do any outreach working between Muslims and Christians at this time of the Christmas, that as we were upset in Khartoum's case when Prophet Muhammad was insulted, now we feel that we are insulted again. When Jesus is insulted, Muslims are insulted too. because we believe that he was ma'soom and infallible, sinless, perfect person. But this is the culture. Here we are. These are the movies, and there's the social media, and then the schools. And it's a big warning for us to take this matter seriously. Inshallah, next Friday, I would talk about Quran and family. It's a very important subject that we need to remind ourselves as we start 2020, that how qu anfusakum wa ahlikum nara, how to save our own souls and our families from this nar jahannam. At the end, I would like to say congratulations to Lebanese, to Lebanon as a country and Lebanese government, that finally they could agree on Dr. Hassan Diab as the new Prime Minister, and 128 of the Nawab, the representatives, they voted for him. As much as I heard that he is a professor in Beirut University and is known for being a pure and honest person. Congratulations. I don't know him personally, that is what I heard, but we say congratulations to all of them, and we hope that this new year be a year of peace, year of justice, and end of corruption, and beginning of reconciliation in Lebanon, in Iraq, and entire Middle East, and entire Ummah, inshallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Inna a'tainaka al-kawthar, fasalli li-rabbika wanhar, inna shana'aka huwa al-abtar. صدق الله العلي العظيم وإلى الصلاة إن الصلاة تنهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر.